Being said, we are ready to hop into our first map. So, of course, big shout out to Vincent for giving us some of the breakdown here. But we'll hop into the map of Anubis to kick things off here in this head-to-head, and we'll see what Bleed are made of on this defense here out of the gates.
Oh, I rep the player cam. Zedco looking good, brother, looking good.
The shoulder
As
cam.
we see is, yeah, the shoulder cam. I mean, most people have to pay good money for the shoulder cam. Cypher's actually showing some skin as well, so we're actually being spoiled here.
Yeah.
Exner.
Rocking the sleeveless shirt. I like that a lot. The tank top summer.
That's it.
We're getting
All right,
close to
well,
it.
let's see what's going to happen here, because we have an opening kill that's come through for the CT side. That was Draken pushing into Canals early on. He's then fallen all the way back, and Sampi are thinking, okay, let's try and go back to the scene of the crime here and head in towards the A bomb site, which is actually the best option available to them right now.
Got a P250 up against Faven, so not as one-sided as you'd think if a Glock was taking that long-range duel. But Faven really willing to give that fight a go. And one too many repeats right there. You give Faven, or you give Finno a good 5 or 6 chances. Eventually he's going to start to connect right there. Execution on in towards 8. Not a lot to, Draken could say right there behind the utility. Hampus looking to draw in forces as well, but into the site they go, and again, Finno looking to turn the tides here. Vladden at least keeping things in the favor here of Bleed, but the number's already punched in.
Yeah, exactly. That man advantage still in play for Bleed, though, as they look to try and make their way forward. That man advantage will persist thanks to Hampus, and it's all on the E-Live, committed to the bomb site right now, looking to try isolate these fights. How is he still alive? Ring around the rosy, eventually out of ammo. No ways. Eventually Hampus on top of the E-Live will get that kill. It took them a lot longer than what he would have liked, but the frag will come through. The round will go the way of Bleed as well. And yeah, it's a pretty successful retake there coming through for them, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, very solid lockdown. Like, a man advantage certainly helps there, but also operating in a 4v4 in the retake situation is not an easy task there, especially with the proper utility and the firepower to back it up there. I mean, Sampi very well could have gotten themselves into good post plants, but Vladden, I think, was a big difference maker. They're coming through camera, finding a couple pickoffs before they could stabilize and plant their feet was a massive deal. And I think he's been a big point of, a big talking point here for this Bleed roster and their revival from the start. Initially, definitely a valuable addition to the squad here. And he's been proving that piece by piece as Bleed have been able to rise in the rankings.
Yeah, is that Hampus you're talking about?
Vladden.
Vladden? Oh, yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Hampus definitely valuable, but I think when this roster started to turn the tides was when, Vladden was put on trial given a trial with this squad, and then the success that's rolled off since then.
Yeah. I was always really happy that they gave Vladden a shot as well, because I loved what I saw out of him in iNation. I mean, he was by far and wide the best part of that team, and I love seeing very good players regionally get the step up and get a chance to play internationally, where they've got a far higher ceiling. Either way, job to do here for Bleed on the B bomb side as they look to try and stave off Sampi, but Mangus has found the opening kill, and that's going to create space now for them to continue to make their way forward. Bleed have deployed what little utility they had coming into the round, so now it's going to be down to the gunfight. Sampi drops some util of their own, but Hampus at least finds a kill. A second comes through from him. There's your man Vladden in on the kill feed. Himself and Hampus combine, and Bleed are damn near flawless on the defense of that B bomb site.
I mean, lose the first right there pretty quickly, but what's so difficult to do sometimes on that B side is to actually operate. Even if you have a crossfire, some of those duels are so favorable for the T side when they're swinging into you that it doesn't matter. But as you said, I mean, I understand why you'd be confused. Hampus is obviously very obviously a massive reason as to this roster's success as well, and he comes through with the mechanics and the calls. I mean, he's got it all so far in the squad.
Yeah,
and he put that on full display last round.
He has been in such good individual form as of late, and he's calling ridiculously well. He's got a team that fully believes in his vision here in Bleed. He's working with a great coach. I mean, he mentioned his interview with Thor, and he's never really had great relationships with some of his coaches in the past. Haven't really always been on the same page or had his opinion super valued by the coaches. So he's got that now. He's got the full trust of this team. And we're seeing the Hampus show, and it's looking great here from Bleed in these past, what, like 6 weeks kind of thing, 8 weeks. Loved the form we've seen from them. And as Vincent said on the desk, it kind of feels like Cirque has been trending upwards, because I was one of the many critics, and I think, you know, most of the criticism was fair and valid. I will say his teammates have come out to bat for him, which is to be expected, but it's almost been a bit too much. You know, Vladden put out a tweet saying something like, anyone who criticizes Cirque has no idea what they're talking about. And I feel like, I mean, like, I get that he's your teammate, homie, but that might be a bit of a stretch.
Your time on EG does not count.
Yeah, good old Launders. That's true.
If Hampus's time on NIP doesn't count,
yeah.
Cirque's time on EG does not count.
Well, I mean, he would want some of his time to count, like 2019.
Yeah,
we
that's
count
true,
that
actually.
and then minus the rest.
Your time on COVID EG does not
Exactly. Count. I was gonna go post-COVID. You got it. Bang on.
I kind of saw the vision right there from Savannah. He got it lined up right there on the smoke. So Hampus does fall, but Favin is just entrenched right now and isn't looking to really stop on his aggressive campaign. Savannah, though, same case for him. Both is true, but side is turned right there. Savannah gets sidelined on the aggro. Draken has just one of those easy shots here that he needs to connect on.
That's a perfect bit there. I like that. Can we clip that?
Like
you couldn't have set that one. You couldn't have set that up any better. Honestly, you couldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, just not landing the tripwire. That I mean, it was a pretty sharp shot, I could imagine, from the Alive, but. Oh boy.
It is the Draken effect, though, right? He outside of the 30-degree window, he's a monster.
Oh, they're just still interested in this A-side play here. Cypher is ready to catch that. He's in such a nasty off angle. Zedko, he barely has his gun out at that point.
Yeah, that's so.
For good measure, right there, as well as an HE to really seal that one on in, and get another nasty off angle to walk into.
Yeah, really intelligent repositioning coming through from Cypher. I mean, he's a guy we haven't even spoken about yet here on the Bleed roster, and it's probably for good reason. I mean, everybody, whenever you hear someone talking about Bleed, Cypher actually more often than not is the first name off their lips, and like I said, with good reason, because of how ridiculously good he's been. I mean, he was a bit of a gamble, I'd say, as well. He got a lot of attention at the major when he just ran Zywoo down at ramp. And then he got picked up by TSM, and he got out of that dumpster fire as quickly as he got in. Yes. And he's settled very well here in Bleed.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. He's found his footing. You know, still looks like a specialist on Vertigo, which is obviously like a massive asset. It's always nice when you have a player that can really like level up his game on a specific map. You know, imagine that's a part of the 7-map veto that these guys can rock with, but really good utility from Sampi. Great to entry on in, and that's a nice connection, though. Leg shot makes the job for the rifle all the more easy. Only one kill, though, and Zedko with the Tech 9 is firing up right there. A 3v3 with all of them locked behind utility, behind these lines here, and now they got to get past an op of their own.
Oh, my Cypher's want to lead to charge entry duties on the CT side. He says, yes, please. Can he make it happen? He's going to try and phase through the smoke. Yes, he's really brave. And Cypher actually will come up with the kill. The problem is he's lost his teammates in the process. But Hampus has found an unexpected trade, and Farvin creeps forward. Zedko, is he expecting this at all? He does adjust nicely. Okay, Sampi on the board through the way of a Tech 9 investment. You mentioned a good util usage, and it was a punchy round. I mean, that was almost like a dry run you can practice in the offline server. Just going through the motions of the ocean, you know, good smokes, good mollies, and then just tearing their way forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice amount of speed right there on that execute. I mean, so much speed right there before the retake even takes place. They're able to toss some guns around right there, switch it up, and like you said, a really great dry run that I think is like super replicable when it comes to success because of how deep they threw that utility from. So fast on the pace right there from Sampi gets them some success, and not a bad opening trade right there. 1 for 1. Doesn't mean that A side is necessarily free though. Instantly recovering that space is Cypher. Oh, and he
man.
really just wants to recover that space.
But it's so smart. I mean, because who's ever going to expect this? Nobody ever. Cypher's one step ahead, and look at the reward. The double kill lineup, neither of them looking in his direction, and he ain't done there either. He wants to continue to take more ground.
Filling the void there, and I think you can afford this even more when you have an op that's close behind him, covering off the A side. You gotta be careful here. That puts a little bit of extra pressure on Favin, but no big deal. Op is covering the stairs position. Canals is fully covered by Cypher. I mean, they've got this one pretty much an under lock and key here. Cypher gets caught off guard here, but just a jiggle, doesn't overcommit to the play.
He's just making an absolute nuisance of himself right now in the belly of the beast. Savannah and the E-Live, I don't even think they're going to consider this. They're just going to call it a day. And there we go. Bleed straight back to winning ways. Yet to lose a gun round. Yeah, I guess another important point to make is that Draken makes sense as a stand-in here for Bleed because he's got some history with Hampus. They would have played in Red Reserve together, and then would have been Godsends after that. Oh, Gamer Legion maybe. They definitely have crossed paths a few times.
Yeah, and I mean, especially on a map like Anubis, it might not be Cirque, but a little bit of aggressive opping there can take you a long way on that CT side, right? So I mean, he's been getting, he's been willing to be a part of the like punches here for some of these opening duels. You can see, I mean, he was standing alongside Cypher in that last round, ready to back him up. I'm just gonna bring off his angles towards A. As is kind of necessary. You do want to get aggressive. You do want to be influencing the early round as the CT side. That's what Cypher's trying to do right now. Really get to work right now, but no pulling punches for either of these squads here. Utility dispensed and it's used effectively. Oh. I think it flashes. Cypher not going to go aggressive off the back of that. Just going to tuck himself into a position that causes a little bit of insecurity for Savannah.
Yeah, he's looking for the gunfights. He's going to have support here from Vladden as well, who he's hoping will take the attention away from him, right? Vladden's trying to take the heat off of Cypher, but it does mean some space has been created elsewhere on the map. Two players on that B-bomb site. Savannah is tucked in, and he's actually found a kill. Vladden trades, but now the info's on the table for Sampi. What do they do with it is the question. What is the response going to be? It looks like they're going to try and head back in towards mid.
Yeah, recover some mid control here. I mean, maybe thinking that Vladden evacuates that, and they're not wrong. A little solo effort there on towards the B side as well to cause some panic. Hampus,
oh no,
he shows no respect. The white swing
on
in, and you got 20 seconds to run through a camera smoke, and I don't like your odds there, to be honest with you. Unless Draken again misses this shot.
Oh, but Vladden's in a perfect position right now. The E-Live is going to play the smoke fade. Manx killed Drake and Vladden looking the wrong way. It's worked out perfectly because Draken's gone down. There's just enough time for the plant. Yeah, the E-Live is going to lock it in. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing right now. It might not be enough to win the round as well. I mean, Bleed are going to have a crack at the retake here. Hampus has drawn first blood to try and create the space. The E-Live has found out. He's in the open. He knows where both of these remaining players are. He's just trying to stay alive for as long as he can. Himself and his teammate both peeking the right side of the site now in conjunction with each other. Hampus, he finds that out the hard way. Haven gets the kill. My goodness, this is messy right now. Manga's trying to be the difference maker. He wants to split these two teams. Where's the bomb? Oh my goodness, but he can find the headshot.
It took he went a little lap around there trying to figure out where that bomb was planted. A bit of an awkward location for Mangus to try and play off of as well. That's just due to the time factor, though. That was the only place that he possibly could have planted right there. You know, you don't have time to be selective and plant for a main. You just got to get those numbers punched in as soon as possible. And as I said, you know, a successful retake rolling through. You can kind of visualize that breakdown as the big if right there again is Draken missing that shot. And once he goes down, obviously Vladden has to split his attention 180 degrees. And that's not an ideal way to hold A in middle. Here we go. Pre-op shot, walking right into the crosshair. The double zoom from Finno. Gonna do the trick in a lineup. 2 headshots land, but no kills converted. So make it a triple entry there. Add the tally. Anything more, Mangus? Yeah, he wants to facilitate as well. And well, this could just be everyone winning their duels.
Yeah, exactly. Sharing the spoils across the board. A lot of damage done, but nothing fatal from Bleed. So Sampi will get their second round here. And also with the damage that's been done in the rounds they're losing, Bleed don't have much money. So they will break the economy here and play up against a Force Buy in the next. I mean, it is Sampi's map pick, and they're on the T side right now. So the fact that Bleed are already up to 6 is a great look for them.
Yeah, it is already somewhat of a strong defensive half, right? That is
Sure.
certain, and they've got a lot of runway for more. Obviously, this is probably going to be into, I mean, honestly, double eco territory for Vladden. So I think this is probably just going to be a force buy off the back of this A1S save.
Terrorists win.
But Sampi, I mean, again, very successful in forcing back some of that control. A lot of tough fights, one out right there. Yeah, we're gonna get the force buys rolling out.
I mean, it makes sense. Hero rifle to try and force up around. Hampus will get one to work with as well. Pistols outside of that. Sampi have to win this round. Of course, they're the underdogs coming into this by some margin, but they're playing against a Bleed with a stand-in, so that does sort of level out the playing field a little bit here for Sampi. When you look back to the Swiss stage, Sampi made it through 3-1. Generally, always a lock-in for the playoffs are Sampi when they're in the Swiss stage. And now they're going to be looking to try and go further than that. They don't just want to be a team who make it to the playoffs.
What?
Oh, wait, Cypher? Brother? What an imposter. They didn't even look at him twice. They were just like, yeah, that's normal. He's one of us now.
Yeah, I got a warm little greeting right there through that smoke, and this is wise here. Execution on the Vladden, who just doesn't have the resources here. Angus avoids the flash. Another one trying to fly through the smoke. Save should be called out here.
Bomb has been planted.
Which, honestly, is a pretty strong one here. Even if they could add extra to this, if they could maybe drop a gun and give it to Draken, that could be better news. But back-to-back rounds here where Sampi close things out
Yeah.
in flawless fashion. And while we do say it's a strong defensive half, I think Sampi could offer up something to be excited about if they can claim momentum heading into that second half.
Would anything less than 6 rounds inspire you, though, for Sampi?
I don't think so. I think they need to close out here. There you go. That's a big pickup.
Rifles. And Farvan's going to really struggle to keep his in play as well. Draken says, mate, you're on your own. I am not going to be bailing you out of that one. And he was... All the writing was on the wall there. It's only the Deagle that gets carried through here for Draken. And it means that Sampi will have a far easier time of it here in the 10th.
Hello.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, that's a great flash right there. Gets him peeking out. Nice little opener. Or exit, rather. Ooh, what do we got here?
I like this. The cheerleader stack. Oh, wait. Where are they going with this one? Oh, it's a really nice lineup on the boost. Okay, this is clever. Pretty much got 4 players now all watching the exact same angle. So, should you swing this angle, sure they've just got USPs, but it's going to be tough. Draken is in middle, though. The only player with a notable weapon.
They're on B, unfortunately. They can
Come on,
full
Mangus.
control of
Go
that
on,
B
lad.
side.
Go what you know you want to, Mangus.
It'd be
He
fun
really
to turn
wants
that
to.
corner.
I mean, for who? For us? Sure.
For us.
For Bleed?
We'll be
Yeah,
the
probably.
Cheeky.
Where's your favorite cheerleader stack on any map? Do you have one?
I've seen some cool ones on Ancient, where I think this got used yesterday up against Liquid. It was by FlyQuest, but they stacked 5 players. You know where the old entrance to Temple, like there used to be 2 entrances.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
was, like,
yeah,
close
yeah.
to the
Facing
site, and
Donut.
yeah, exactly. They 5-man stacked in like a pyramid almost, and they won a full USP eco, and then came back and made it a close game.
Damn.
That round. But it was like the same case where it was like 11-4. You know, the game felt over. It was full USPs, and they won it and made it 11-5. I think they came back and like got double digits at least, but they still lost. Thankfully. It was a fun stack, and so it was not one that I've seen ever.
I mean, there's a few famous ones. There's the one low as a Mirage. There's the one nuke outside of Heaven, looking towards the shipping container. Inferno B bomb site towards Dark. Yeah. All right. Well, Lead are probably cheering because they're leading up 6-4 at the moment. It's been a good CT side from them. Can they lock in a half win though?
Great flash right there. Zedko goes down in his campaign, but set up for a 1-for-1.
You take
into
that.
The world. Very early on as well.
1-for-1 trade for the T side that early on in the round is always going to be welcomed. You just create space, you force rotations, you deprive the CTs of resources.
Ooh,
oh my, Vladden.
Yeah,
Yeah, he knows he's forced one forward, but there's 2. And he kind of shoots between them. That's really frustrating for Vladden. Draken's missed his shot. He's had a tough time on the map so far. He's 2 for 7. And, I mean, that means round is over. At the blink of an eye, Sampi have got their 5th on the board.
Well, there you have it. I mean, what felt like a very advantageous situation crumbles quickly. The drop of a hat I mean, right now, missed shots costing them a lot.
Yeah.
Not what you see every day from this Bleed roster. Usually, I mean, again, very strong on the mechanics. Vladden is a very trustworthy anchor right there, but he just couldn't connect on one crucial shot into Mangus. I think he just couldn't decide the target. And that's going to be 5 here. I mean, they could get the 6, as we said, it was kind of necessary. Or at least it'd be nice in terms of the slow start that you had in this. To get back into it with 5 rounds in a row to head into the second half.
Well, they should be able to. They should be able to get themselves a 6th round here, considering the lack of an investment from Bleed. Of course, they'll spend all their money with it being the last of the half, but they're not going to piece together a great buy. It's still okay, though. It's enough to be competitive. 3 favorable rifles, then a FAMAS and an MP9. Certainly been a momentum-based half so far. Pino's been quiet, but we expect more from him on the CT side, as is normally the case with an AWPer. Oh, that Molly's actually slightly missed the mark. Cypher's still in position. Savannah's never going to be clearing this because there's a Molly there, but they're going to have to check that one in the practice server once again.
Yeah. Bit of an oopsie right there. That's not how you want to try and end this half here, because again, could be a nice little momentum stopper. Hampa spotted though by that op, surely. Yeah, I mean, information gathered. Goes for a big swing right there, getting on top of the block, and recovery mission for the rifle of Draken. Volleyed out. Can't quite start that recovery process off. Cypher can't adjust in time. Numbers going to be punched in here, and a man advantage figured out here from Sampi in the recovery mission. Finno already has line of sight. He's looking to clear out these angles. He's got to be careful, and he is.
Problem is, it's so tough for Draken and Vladden to even get into the bomb site. Vladden's going to make the charge, take that first step. He does find a kill. Knows there's a very good chance that Elive is playing on the platform. Himself and Zedko have a bit of a crossfire setup, and they've now figured out exactly where the Elive is positioned, and he's going to go down. It does give Draken a shot. He doesn't have a smoke grenade. He's got a kit, but barely has any time to work with, and Zedko is not giving him anything right now. Taps that fuse, looking to try and draw Zedko out. Eventually, the peak will come through, and he's done it.
No.
Never mind. Zedko has. The bomb will explode in Draken's face. It's a good attempt coming through from him, but in vain.
Wow. It's closed out right there from the side of Sampi. Just enough time being bought off that clock. Smart timing on that peak right there from Zedco. Really smart Counter-Strike rolling through. It felt like he had that good internal clock because he timed it perfectly. And again, I mean, a pretty valuable pickup, I gotta be honest. When you talk about Zedco and his experience. I mean, a player that definitely you could be excited about. I really valued his time on Sinners. I thought he was, you know, a big asset, but obviously showing up here on Sampi, close things off.
I always thought it was a peculiar change. I don't know if Zedco decided to leave or if Sinners wanted some fresh blood, because Sinners have still always been looking for that fifth, right? They've got Ite in the mix now, but they had, I can't remember who it was before Neofrag joined, but it was another one of those like lesser experienced players from the region. Quirts, right? It was Quirts before that.
Yeah.
And it's like, could you not have a Zedco in either one of their places and then not had to try and catch one of these players up for speed? I don't know. Just a speculation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm with you. I think there's benefit in trying. I think there's a lot of value out of Quartz long term, but
True.
I mean, it's like
Sampi
landing on his
complaining.
peak here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. And you can see out of the gates right there, another quick headshot there. Familiar scene for Draken as he gets blasted. Start off the half like he ended it.
Alright, well, it does look like Sampi have a kind of a good idea of what's going on here. Bleed are... I mean, they're behind enemy lines, but Sampi are fully aware of it right now. And there we go, good kill coming through from the E-Live. He's been able to evade the trade as well, means there's still a big numerical advantage for Sampi as they try to drive this pistol around home and take themselves a lead for the first time here on the map. But they're going to have to retake this A bomb site.
Yeah, and honestly, 4 players on the flank as well is not exactly ideal here. You're going to have entrenched post plans from Bleed and very awkward to flush out locations, and now there's a flanking the flankers. Your Hampus is hot on their heels right now, but this retake is fast, and it's going to leave Favin with some time buying measures here. In fact, he is taken down. Vladin with it all to do on the site proper. Strike finally from Hampus. We'll see if there's any recovery on offer here. Quick kill rolls on through, but yeah, that was the big problem right there. Eventually, Hampus figured out. And plenty of time for the defuse.
And Sampi have the lead for the first time here on the map. Their map pick, things are looking a whole lot better for them. They were losing 6-1 at one point. They've won 6 in a row since then. And they're going to be feeling a whole lot better about things. I'm sure we'll see Bleed force up in this next round after they get the bomb plants and the pistol round loss. And there we go. Cypher's even got an AK. That must have been dropped to him because he's got head armor and utility. Yeah. He's been donated that big upgraded rifle. Let's see if he can put it to good use.
So you can play some Faith in too, but how do you like
Do
playing
you just
on
give it
half
across
HP?
now? Yeah.
I think half HP is enough here. Still given the opportunity for a boost. Doesn't connect on anything. That was a pretty tricky move right there, but not enough vision really granted here. That could put on notice, but gets his smoke down to avoid sort of contention. Cypher's still leading the pack here. You can be quick with that AK. I'm always going to beckon him forward, and that low HP ends up costing him in the end. I think that was a big facilitator right there as to why that kill was a little bit easier for Savannah.
That's a really big frag coming through for the E-Live.
So much utility on Favin as well.
Yeah, none of them put to use. I think he was waiting for Hampus to get in position before he decides to use the util, and now he's got to use it in a completely different fashion. Not ideal at all, because now they don't have the util to aid them getting into the bomb site. I suppose Vladin does still have some, but how do they even get in the bomb site from here? Looks like they're going to try and go through middle. It's a very passive position here for Sampi towards cameras. I think it's Zedco who's looking in that direction. It's a really tough ask right now for Bleed to make this round work. You've got Draken who's coming through A main with the AK. Both of the CTs are looking towards cameras right now. They need to sort themselves out. That's a gorgeous shot out of Vladden. My goodness. Just destroys Zedko. And they know Pino's behind the bomb side as well. Oh, Vladden, he's looking twitchy. He's looking at Farvan behind him.
Wow.
At least he'll get the plant, but what can you really do from here?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing right there. It's too quick on the... No, massive concern just yet on the faces here. These Bleed members, they know that they made it very close.
Counter-terrorists win.
They're overwhelmed by Sampi. They're starting to stamp name on this map right now. Do hit the crucial 5 rounds in a row like we mentioned. They get off to some pistol success. Question is, do you keep up the force bias here? Only 2 surviving. I think, you know, you could make a case for yes. But then you could be found caught in the trap of those force buys. The
I think they
allure of
will.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. Only 2 surviving in that last round for Sampi. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Sometimes leaves you late on utility, but
which it has.
still a lot.
I mean, there's enough. But you can't get too elaborate with it. That's probably why they're going for a bit more of a direct approach now in towards the A-bomb site. Farvan's got that camera smoke primed.
Oh,
Draken is going to throw a molly as well. Savannah goes unchecked initially, but Cypher will clear him out. The Eli can't do anything about it because of the Heaven molly here thrown through the window. Fino should get taken down, but no. Vlad cuffs his lines, and that kind of gives Sam... Oh, never mind. I was going to say gives him a way back into the bomb site, but Cypher has other plans.
yeah, and that right there, I think, is certainly an asset that you have when you have a Cypher on your team. Right there.
Yeah, exactly.
3 quick entries, and what he does so well is he just doesn't stop, right? He continues to take charge in towards that site. He realizes the space that he's found. I mean, think about the first point of contact. Savannah's got utility out as he's right on the other edge of that, you know, that pole, and then not only does he take that kill, but then take that space in towards Heaven to really secure the round right there.
One of his greatest qualities is just his ruthlessness, fearlessness, call it what you want. Always plays like he's on 100 HP as well, which is a great, you know, indicator of a player, the confidence.
There's that information. There's the route. Look at this.
Oh my. Tears him a new one. And this is the reward for the follow-up force buy. Look at what Sampi have to work with in this next round. It's pots and pans pieced together. Couple rifles, sure, but only 2 desirable rifles. This is a very big opportunity for Bleed. In fact, you know what? I'd go so far as to say they have to win this.
Ooh. Wild start to this one. Nice. Yeah, it gets even wilder as time goes on. Nice little chunky HE right to the dome piece, but there you go. Savannah with a 1-for-1 again, able to deal with Cypher, and some of his aggressive maneuvers doesn't make the job of holding this A site any easier though. Zedko, he's kind of locked behind utility now at this point, and the decision to fight forward is the right one. I think Bleed might have just missed out on a big opportunity to make this round easy, but oh, Mangus, is he spotted? Not quite. He gets a freebie, but he should be toast. Yeah, right around that corner, Hampus is able to find a rapid trade.
Such a vital trade. Draken looking to try and stay alive as well, win this gunfight. He doesn't have to keep taking it, but he will take the head of the Elive, and that makes the retake so much more challenging now for Sampi. Both players looking to try and make their way through from CT. They've got no util, but they've got a kit. And Hampus is on the angle. They know he's here. They look to clear him out, but oh my goodness, they both will be denied. Not headshots from Hampus, but it doesn't matter. Locks it down on the spray, and that's a vital round going the way of Bleed.
Nicely done. Back with an important victory right there. And good spacing on these trades as well. Look at this. Both of those, like, I think really round defining trades. Having a player right behind them to make sure that those numbers advantages don't go awry. Hampus able to lock that one in.
Yeah, it should be the easiest round Bleed have had to contest in a while. I mean, things were going swimmingly for them at the start of the map. They led 6-1 on their CT side, but it's been far more hotly contested since then. Bleed should absolutely get their noses in front at the end of this round.
Just bombarding the back of the site right there. Pretty systematically clearing out those positions. If anyone were to stand there, they would have been gone without armor. So now the USP is just looking to do a little bit of exit damage here. That's what they're made of. So far, looks like not much.
Can we speculate about why Cirque isn't here? Are we allowed to do that? I mean, what if it is a roster change? I know it nearly never is, but what if Bleed... Yeah.
It had to be a pretty big op move.
Okay, let's see who's on the market.
Again, a lot of conversations were that, you know, this isn't our final form from Bleed. Like, that there's obviously all these players are getting chances, but it depends on the long-term success, right? And there is some pretty exciting oppers that might be entering into territory that at least is allure. I think Bleed is building up that allure, and
yeah,
a strong op could be valuable, but I don't know.
It will be brutal for Cirque because he's been improving lately, and if you're going to kick him, it's like, well, what has he been doing wrong? Because he's kind of been improving his game, but my question is about the ceiling, because sometimes you have to be ruthless with the decisions you make, like Vitality were when they cut Dupree after winning the major to bring in Flames.
It's that goal that I was talking about, that making that second major of the year. If that's your goal, then you're going to have to be making those tough moves, and you're going to have to raise that ceiling for sure. But that's a big hold right there. Zedco and Finno combining their forces. A lot of information spotted, but it seems like Bleed not necessarily in the best spot to capitalize off that.
Yeah, Bleed try force their way in towards the A bomb site after they get the opening kill, but then they run straight into a brick wall defense and they get slapped back down. Hampus, Faven, and Draken try combine here to get them back in the round. And it looks like they're going to head in towards mid, which isn't a bad option with the amount of room that's been afforded to them. Problem with this Fino is they can just smoke off the molly and then push through anyway, but he is timing this really well. He's left it as late as he possibly could, and he'll know by design with that molly in play that they could be pushing through connector in towards this B bomb site. So the B anchors, the B players, they've got to realize there's a very good chance this is happening, and it's probably why they've taken refuge in towards E-box.
But now you have an option to plant for CT as well. We'll see what they go for here. So there's not a lot of time left. Oh, and yeah, they get caught wide on that.
Oh,
they're Faven gonna try and recover the bomb, but kind of a shock to the system right there. As Sampi, again, that E-box position was very safe refuge for them to hang about and hold that site.
Yeah, great job coming through from them in the round in general. I mean, initially getting those 2 kills to defend the A-bomb site, and then good decision making by pushing into E-box as well, not leaving themselves vulnerable from the flank at all. Just really good heads-up play being made there by Sampi, and then even Mangus not swinging with the Elive initially. He's basically just baiting him out there. Elive gets 2 kills, means Mangus's job is very easy to finish it off. And Sampi have leveled it up again.
Not sure about being able to be on fire in the water. Not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, oil does both burn on top of water. So maybe there's something in that.
True. Yeah. It's oily water.
It's actually brutal because you can't pour water on an oil fire to put it out.
It'll make it worse. Yeah, that's a
life
tip for everyone.
Yeah, here is a life tip. How do you put out an oil fire while you're cooking? Yeah, with more oil, Exner. You pour oil on the... Yeah, so if you've got like, you know, some sunflower seed oil or whatever, you want to pour more oil on the fire. It sounds so counterintuitive. But because it's got such a high burning point, it takes too long for that oil to also heat up and combust, so it just smothers the flames completely.
Yo, if you ever caught in an oil fire there, make sure that you add oil Smother the fire right there. Need something to smother this fire on towards the B site there. Cypher just completely handles business. Again, as we kind of highlighted, this guy.
True.
His entry prowess here for this bleed roster is such a clear asset. And he does it again. Not the first time we've seen a triple entry. I remember seeing videos of people throw water on oil fires. Also, like every once in a while, I see like these TikToks of fast food workers just going like completely berserk, and like tossing ice cubes in oil, like vats or whatever. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like the stuff that they make
like
French fries in at fast food
restaurants
restaurants and stuff.
deep fried things.
Yeah, they're just tossing ice cubes trying to. And you know how that goes. It immediately starts boiling over all over.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what, like, if those, like, businesses are doing well now. I doubt they're doing great.
Yeah, probably.
Seems
probably
like a
employed
big
the wrong
cleanup
people.
job. Yeah. Anything for TikTok views, though, right?
That's true. Not that you're going to get to enjoy it for much longer, as far as I know.
True.
So get it in while you can, kids. I actually don't have TikTok installed on my phone. Is that abnormal?
It's for the best. It's for the best. The thing is, like, I find it pretty valuable because I actually I look up some like workout routines and cooking recipes, which are very nice to have on the app.
I was gonna say, I noticed in the pregame on the camera you're looking a bit more swole, mate. You've been hitting the gym.
Thank you. Been hitting the gym, yeah.
Yeah,
more
you
recently
can
there.
see it. Looking beefy.
Yeah, thank you. But it's pretty valuable for that, but it's also valuable for sitting on your bed for 2 hours and scrolling, so it's a blessing and a curse, I feel like.
Yeah, time and a place. That is social media. I mean, Sedekist said it best when he said the internet is the best thing that mankind has ever done, and it's also the worst thing that mankind has ever done. So, always comes down to the user, right? It's actually up to you. It's sort of what value you extract from the experience.
That is true.
Alright, well, Bleed have been able to get themselves up by a round here. They're playing against a half by. A couple of rifles brought through into this one. Hampus, lucky to be alive right now. And he will thrive.
Calculated.
Totally.
All for the lineup right there. He was thinking about two, not just one.
Yeah, he baited them in.
Perfectly. A little bit of an awkward molly, though. It's just the issue is there's only USPs defending this site, and while there's some decent damage, nothing lasts too long here. Nothing lingers in terms of success. They gotta recover the bomb, but Vegas is still off behind multiple smokes now. Zoomed in by this op right now. Oh, yeah.
Nice
shot.
Yeah. It was always supposed to be Bleed's round, and at least they keep majority of their players alive as well. 2 rounds away from finishing off the job against Sampi with a stand-in as well. Just the first map in terms of getting the job done, though. Still more work to be done after this. You can't clock out. Obviously a must-win gun round here for Sampi. They're not going to have the AWP on Fino, unfortunately. But they cannot afford to lose this round with the amount of money that they have in their bank.
They don't want to be caught in that tough situation, but again, another lovely opener here. I mean, Draken taking an even deeper angle here. And there's a lot more around that corner than what they realize here. Cypher is looking to test the waters. Sarah Vladen delivers a fast trade. And there's a lot more resistance on B, though. I mean, still they don't have guns out, though. Oh, man. And the Alive already revealing his position and spam down straight through the smoke. This could be a quick and bitter end here for Sampi.
Honestly, okay, maybe for a moment he was looking to try and throw some utility and it wasn't just a straight up weapon switch, but if you are a player who weapon switches while playing Counter-Strike, it's one of the worst possible ticks you could have. Hampus plays a smoke fade, instantly hits the headshot, but there's literally no reason to ever weapon switch. If you need to have some sort of a tick because like me, you're just
shake your mouse.
Ridiculous. Shake your mouse,
Do the Stewie
or
2K.
inspect your weapon. You know, one of the two are better than weapon switching itself.
Yeah, I've seen a lot in my years of casting CCT of tough weapon switches, but I think it was utility. I think we might get a little fresher on that.
I think it was.
I
We'll
feel
give him
like
the benefit
he
of the
did
doubt.
whip out the utility, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes a little bit more sense. The Bleed is so quick on their motion on in. Break down a 4-man setup on B with an opening pick and still being able to bypass 3. This is a little bit of a nightmare scenario. for Sampi, but they got the max loss bonus, so it's FAMASs and auto shotties as opposed to just pistols. Which makes it a little bit easier here. The Gator, it can really sing.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the marshy lands of Florida. Or at least Savannah would like that to be the case. Is that the case? Did I get that right? Florida, the one with the wetlands?
Yeah, that's right.
Alright. Just as a double check.
There's this Savannah, Georgia, too. Pretty close to Florida as well.
Oh,
my God.
baby.
One bump out of it. Right there does the trick on it, too. A nice little double up right there and a perfect defense towards that A side to buy Sampi a little bit of life, man. And the Gator strikes. It jumps its claws. It's left up to now just Dragon to save the day on a 1v3. I wouldn't even want to give up this op here. I mean, I guess the bomb is down to a pretty neutral location, though, so maybe some chances to work the map. But yeah, I think it's smart to get rid of that op at least. Try your luck with an AK if you can recover something.
I mean, it was quite brave with him throwing it so far away. At least he will get an AK and then cross paths with Zedko. There we go, weapon recovered. Zedko up close though. Going to be a free frag for him on the off angle. Good work. Draken goes down. And I'm just wondering what Bleed are really thinking about that round, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a smoke front of A main. It's probably like, what, a minute 35 left on the clock? Was there even a flash through that smoke? We're going to get to see it now, probably. Yeah, okay, there was a flash initially, but why are they committing through the smoke with so much time on the clock, man? Like, you know you're going to be playing against a weaker buy. That just seemed a bit ill-disciplined.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. You got to have a lot of utility to get past that smoke right there. You know, mollies need to be tossing towards that close corner, 100%. I'm with you. That just seems like a massive risk on a round that... I mean, I guess you have a little bit of room for risk, but if you lose this... We've been catching a lot of overtimes.
Yeah, true.
And
this is the fourth map we've had 2 so far. This is one could go as well.
Something in my bones says that this is one of those games that could very well be the case there, but again, a 1-for-1. Great trading always towards that A side. It helps out so much. This time, not the multi-kill out of the auto shot. He only 1 out of the A1S here, and the Alive has no extra help. It's all on his own that land these headshots, these quick ones, and looking for the adjustment, but isolated to just a single frag. Bomb needs to be planted, and it will be. And Hampus now. You could be the late activator to send this one on in regulation.
And a late smoking towards camera as well gives Hampus even more time to play with right now. Favin's closed the gap. He is playing between the smokes right now. A really narrow angle being held. The flash will be avoided. He's on top of Mangus. Yeah, Mangus should know something was amiss there. Why wasn't I able to get through? Was I running into the pillar? Now both Hampus and Favin are going to be flanking through cameras. Draken just has to stay alive. And Favin's going to play this first as Hampus just creeps around the corner. I think he might be baiting Favin, which makes sense. Although the problem is the diffuse is being stuck. Having said that, it's a full 10 second defuse right now. Exactly that. Hampus desperately spraying away, runs out of ammo, goes for the Glock. Zed goes off of it. Why is he off the defuse? Did he run out of time?
There was no time. I don't think there was time either way to get the defuse off.
Are you sure? Because I'm wondering there's no point in letting go of the defuse because you're definitely going to lose the round that way. Vincent, please just tell us what's happened because I am very confused.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what's just happened. Why would you get off of it? Like, even...
Can we get that replay one more time?
Like, even if you're gonna lose the round, right? Like, just try. Because it was close, it was like 2
seconds. Because you're guaranteed to lose it if you let go. You're guaranteed. Can we run that replay back again, as Exner requests?
Got it again, we got it again.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, let's see. So there's about, what, like, 15 seconds, no, but less. 12 there. I reckon he's got it. I honestly think he's got it.
I'm looking at the top to see the bar. Ooh.
Oh.
I don't know if he had it actually, but...
well, I mean, he definitely didn't have it if he let go. So
you're right. No, there's no...
I do want to say one thing coming into this, and I just had a look at Cirque's numbers in 2024 on Mirage. He's played the map 16 times. It's a 1.01 rating, whereas Draken's played this map 5 times this year. He's on a 1.29 burner. So maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't be the worst change to have here for Bleed.
Get me on Mirage is what he's been saying. Done with this Anubis. He's ready to strike, and yeah, I mean, that'd be quite nice to add to your firepower department as the B rush comes on through. It feels a little bit understaffed, but long range there. Mangus able to offer up some resistance and won't sit right packing us well. Cypher. Cypher doing what he does so well and finding those entries. And while Mangus was trying his best to offer up that fight back, it's just not going to matter too much.
Yeah, now it's just about locking it down in the post plant. You've got the man advantage. There's no kits in play currently. Not sure if there's one on the deck or not, but there is no Zedco. Mangus is the one who was dinked down earlier on. He's so reluctant to take a straight up gunfight. Farvan starts to hunt him down here, tracking and tracing. Mangus is just looking to get out of dodge, but that will not be afforded to him. Cypher's already closing the door, and Mangus is just trying to weave his way past these players because he hears all the steps as well. This is hilarious. I kind of wish he had a kit and there was an extra 10 seconds just to really shake things up, but not gonna happen. Will he die to the bomb explosion? He does. There we go. Thought so. I think the thing that impresses me the most about Cypher is just how much work he does without many resources. I mean, think about how the rest of his team was still struggling to get out of apartments. He gets his first kill to open it up, and he's not stopped there. He's still by himself working the bomb site, getting another kill.
Yeah, I kind of highlighted this, you know, talking about like some of his specialty maps here. I don't think it's the case that he's like a one map specialist at all, but you could definitely see it like on his peak and Vertigo at the major, like you were mentioning, where I think there's a lot of attention turned his way. And yeah, like you said, I mean, he doesn't need a lot of help to succeed, man. He can be his own facilitator. And obviously that's a massive deal when you talk about an aggressive piece here. Just talking about the mechanics that he can provide for the squad. Being self-reliant can make everyone else's job so much easier, and it can make calling a lot easier for Hampus as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I feel like they've got something really good going between them as a duo. I think Hampus' style of calling fits Cypher's style of playing very nicely. That's why, because Cypher, when I did a short interview with him after a game once, I think it was on Thunderpick, he said he's a player who needs to be trusted. He needs his space to be afforded to him so he can do stuff like that. Sure, it's against the eco, but very narrow angle there to get both those kills. You've just got to trust Cypher. And if you put him in a system where you're telling him what to do, at that point he's thinking, he's overthinking, like, how should I be playing this? How would the team want me to play this? Instead of just that cerebral approach, just taking things as they come. And Hampus is one of those guys who wants his players to be making plays and taking initiative and then feeding that info back to him so he's able to then call successfully. So this duo is looking very good.
I couldn't agree more. It's one of those things where you lose your calling style. It's got to be very difficult in the tier 2 space as well to operate against.
True.
Look at this. Talk about loose style right now. It's just 3 players dry swinging window on the first gun round. You know that it's going to be under-resourced CT investment. And what is that timing from Track? And he gives him a wide swing to think about as soon as you turn that corner. That's a big upgrade for him as well. Spotting out more players around that corner as more players hit the deck right now. There's no overcommitment either. I like that a lot. A little bit of resistance shown, right? You could have easily made a call to just run it down, but what if they run it into you? That would be all the better. There's a trade.
I do like this from Fino, though. Yeah, I do like the fact that he's taking that control, taking that ground back, and at least gotten a kill. 4 versus 3 now. And it does look like Bleed are going to try and finish off towards the A bomb site. Hampus has just found the timing to creep through Connector and avoid Savannah. But how long will he be alive for is the question, because Savannah... Oh, has he heard him? Has he heard some sort of a cue? I don't know if he heard him or not, but Hampus was certainly waiting for it. There's still a chance for Sampi. Zed goes deep in CT. He's taken the attention away from Fino. Still so much time, though. Bleed don't have to overcommit. Just exactly as you say, man. These guys are really well-disciplined and so happy to take their time. Very patient, and it looks really good in motion. That was lovely.
Lovely and efficient right there. Quick counter-strike. I like how... I mean, again, something that I talk about right now is becoming very common for teams to do as well. Out of the gates, you got the first gun round. So many teams like to just dry swing window. Because you're not going to have an op. You're not going to have, you know, as many tools to break down and resist some of the aggression. So right there, you see how efficient that was. How well it worked for them.
And everybody on the same page, because everybody was moving around at the exact same time. Just the timings in general, really good from Bleed. They do have to be careful here. Sure, it's an eco, but it's an eco with a max round loss bonus behind it. So there's upgraded pistols, there's armor. There's a little bit of utility that's been sprinkled in the mix as well.
Take this one too lightly. That's for sure.
Just good protocols right now. Cypher looks so dialed in. He's so ready for it, man.
And he is gifted the opportunity right there for a nice opener. Not only one, but taking it a little bit extra right there. Not as clean on the Finno. Hey, job's for the most part done here. Those plants already established. And now it might just be better to go for an exit game. AK retrieval there. Nicely done from Savannah, avoiding the spam and getting out of dodge with that AK. And might be more gifted. Yeah, I mean, the Alive is still in window. And there's another one.
Take that. Get out of there. So at least that's not only going to just make life a bit easier going into the next round. It also carries some money going forward here for Sampi. Meaning, yeah, even if they do lose the next round, at least they'll have some change on a few players. But I guess that's not where they'll be focused. It's not what they'll be thinking about. They're thinking about how do we get around on the board. And if it doesn't happen now, then there'll be some serious concerns for Sampi. Because remember, Bleed favor the CT side on this map. They sport a whopping 60% win rate on the CT side of Mirage. So you can't afford for them to, you know, get a lead here on the T side going into that behemoth of a CT side.
Yeah, 100%. Good starts here for a team that's already up a map as well in the mix. Something that you would love to go up against here. Some worry factor here so far. Still looking to answer back here. They've got that good firepower. They got the AK retrieved still, so again, we'll see if they can start off their campaign in the second gun round. Second opportunity.
Yeah, and an opportunity that they have to take as well, because if Sampi loses 5-0 and then another eco after that, really yet to get off the mark, even just in terms of the kills alone. They've only got 4 kills in the 4 rounds that have been played so far. And a couple of those came in the eco. So, not the start that Sampi would have hoped for, but more than enough time to turn the situation around. It does look like they're going to just go for a bit more of a direct approach in towards the B bomb side. It's only Savannah who's on the side of the map right now, and he's looking to close the gap as well. There is a deep smoke for him to play with, but once this fades, then he's going to be committed to this position, and I'm wondering, how does he get more than 1 kill from here? Because one's not enough. Bleed then gets side control, and yeah, there we go. Makes sense that he will fall back as the life on the smoke starts to fade.
And she used, I mean, not even a lot of utility left here either. And meanwhile, he's getting caught in a position where he's setting up his util for middle instead. At least it nets them a kill. He gets a flash assist, but it's at a sacrifice of the B bomb site. And yeah, I don't know if that's a worthy trade.
No, it's not. Oh, that's actually really unfortunate that Fino doesn't get the kill, because I think if he finds the frag, they consider the retake. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, the IGL was already pretty much locked in to save his gun, and off the back of 1 kill, Bleed have won the round. I mean, I know that they get the kill on Mangus, the rotator as well, but Savannah's not loving his life there. And it's a really well-timed exec. I mean, it's not like Bleed give any info away. They try to take the information towards middle. They take the attention towards middle, do Bleed. And then from there, they activate really nicely over towards B. You know, Savannah's jump spotting when he gets the info that it feels like he's blinded up for an eternity. So Bleed continue their flawless start here to Mirage.
Terrorists win.
I mean, a very cool round as well. I think capitalizing off of just a very understaffed B site right there. Understaffed B site that was also tasked with helping out middle. Like, poor Savannah left with.
Is he the best player to flash for them, though? I mean, he's like the only player on the B-bomb site, and it's like, yeah, mate, would you mind just flashing for us in mid as well there, please? Just while you're, you know, trying to anchor the bomb site. Support us as well.
Yeah, can you do it all?
Oh, Savannah, why did you die? Why couldn't you get a kill there? Like, jeez,
Oh,
come on,
maybe I
guys.
revealed my position to the other squad.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a miserable position to find yourself in.
And things have
And
gotten
the
worse.
misery
A
continues.
whole... He's one guy. One-man army in towards mid right now. He's found 3 frags, his Hampus, and additional information.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, on the angle while he's stepping even.
Got any mid flashes this round?
Well, he has got one, but yeah.
Fortunately,
Not
no
in
one to
position throw
capitalize.
it right now.
I mean, last time, again, it was a useful flash. It got them an opening, right? Hampus was
Yeah,
solo
sure.
towards the middle. It was just like, oh, now I'm caught with my hands in my pockets. They know where I am. I've got no utility. Good luck. Cypher. Good luck on trying to best that angle here. At least Savannah on the board. We'll be able to maybe stay alive, but that's a big if right now. They've got mollies. They've got HEs. They've got all the tools to dispose of him.
It's about to get a whole lot hotter in the kitchen, and you know what they say, if you can't handle the heat, then get the hell out, and Savannah is forced out by Farven. Never take a fair fight, Exner. That's exactly what Farven does there. Forces his opponent into him, and it's a free kill. This is a big problem, though, because if you've got 3 players in mid as the CT side, and all 3 of you die to one rifler without any support, and it's not even like they were ridiculous headshots or smoke spams either. I mean, Mangus missed his shot, Torfino, whoever was AWPing connector, and then just all unraveled for them. So, worrying signs right now from Sampi.
This has to feel brutal here. Not a lot of room for error, obviously, in this series, and this map has gotten off to a grinding start. There you go. Nice little opening tool there, and the one-man army that's been haunting them in middle, at least, is taken out of the picture for this round.
Yeah, the rampaging bull.
They've got more rampaging pools to deal with, unfortunately. Cypher's still in the server. As we can see, he can be a sole difference maker as well.
At least Bleed still have some control to speak of now as they try and get themselves into the say bomb site. Sampi are well prepared for it. Cypher has just gone straight through the smoke, and Zedko is none the wiser. Oh, he continues to play by his own rules, and he's trying to open up the bomb site for his team. Favin's capitalized with a wonderful double. I mean, the Eli, I'm not sure how he's missed those shots there, but those are very costly shots to miss, and that is the end of the round.
As we said, there's a lot of different players there. When Hampus goes down, that can just pull up the call. And you just can't miss for long. You can't afford to up against the squad, and again, activating on a bit of a hunt. Cypher.
Such a live wire.
Yeah, you can just see Amy's going with here, the flicks and the flare.
Like I said, this fearlessness of him, even that decision to push through the smoke there, through the con smoke, that's a Cypher play where he's just playing the situation. He knows, okay, we're down 5v4. We don't really have much going for us here. Someone's going to have to roll the dice. And you know what? More often than not, it is Cypher who's happy to do that. I mean, that's more than just rolling the dice. But It's okay. I understand the thought process there. He's one of those guys who's so fun to watch as well. I mean, you remember a Cypher kill, don't you?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, that risk taking so valuable in this sort of situation. You're down a man. Got a key piece of the puzzle there in Hampus. The success just doesn't linger long for Sampi. Try to switch things up a little bit, maybe get a little more aggressive. Not a bad idea, but this is just an off-spawn call. Fly out of Palace. This momentum-based Counter-Strike that they're wielding here is used up against them, and Cypher wrecks them down.
Yeah. This is brutal. I mean, sure, it's kind of an anti-half-buy investment kind of thing. The problem for Sampi is it's not even like they haven't had many gun rounds. They've constantly kept 2 or 3 players alive in the rounds that they're losing, which means they've always been able to plug the gaps and afford another good investment. So they've had gun round after gun round on the CT side, but they just haven't been able to do a whole lot. Again, I'm not great at maths, but these are easy numbers to add up, Cole. That's 11 kills in about to be 8 rounds. 11 frags in 8 rounds? Paging Sampi. Time to pitch up on the server.
I mean, I guess at this point, you might be asking the question if show up in the server. They're going to be given that opportunity here because so far, guarantees on that answer. You're getting absolutely blasted so far. Calls seem to be on the money, and then the entries are there to back it up, as you can see.
Yeah. Nice change of pace as well, right? Just keeping things fresh, difficult to read. And it looks like it's going to be a rinse and repeat coming through from Bleed, who have put so much focus in towards middle in these gun rounds gone by, that Sampi have been conditioned. They're throwing numbers at mid right now, but the E-Live has a job to do on the A bomb side. He knows there's an exit coming through. He's seen them make their way out of Palace. He doesn't have a head to see anything any longer, and now they're going to have to retake down by a man. I don't like the odds, and I don't like the way that things look for Sampi, but they can't afford to not have a crack at this.
Time's chugging away. They're not moving. They got a nice little line of scrimmage outside of middle and market, and no motion to make a move up forward. Another save called, a quick 9th round. And I'll be honest, I just don't think they can afford those calls like you said, but also like running on in towards that retake is probably just certain death as well. So
exactly, you have to weigh it up and say, what do we do here? We need another gun round, so they will keep their players alive, but 9-0. And the problem for me is how easy that round was for Bleed. They throw 2 smokes middle, the same smokes they've thrown every round. Snipers in top mid, Sampi commit numbers, and then Bleed just run out of the Palace smoke in towards A, get 1 kill, that's the round over. I mean, that's just way too simple.
Yeah, I'm almost getting read like a book here, round after round. Finding themselves pretty dire situations here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Conditioning here. I mean, again, I feel like you can call these rounds one off of another when they keep on working. You know, just abused mid so many rounds in a row. Let's hit A fast and see if they stack the resources there. We just abused A multiple rounds in a row. Let's gear up for some more mid control.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Have a couple players ready to explode on in towards this B site. And look at where they're positioned right now. Look at what the opportunities lie ahead. I mean, 1 top connector smoke, and you've got a lethal catwalk mid to B split.
I think you're reading the situation really well right now, IGL Exner. In fact, you might even be in Hampus's head, because I think that's exactly what he's thinking. Either way, this is probably the longest Sampi have been able to keep all 5 of their players alive, so that might be worth celebrating in itself. Let's see if they can make something happen here, as Bleed have to go for a bit more of an elaborate approach. Top con smoke will come through. Dino's going to clear that, and there will be a person left exposed as a result, and there we go. Draken's lost his life. That will prompt the hit now. That's going to mean that Bleed will gain some traction as they head in towards the bomb site. Problem is, Savannah's still trying to deal with both apartments and Cat because Mangus is scared someone got boosted up in snipers.
You got a alert to worry about in the form of Laden, as he does cut off rotations, but the anchors are holding down the line. Mangus,
There we go.
dealing with the pressure. And I think there was a great window of opportunity right there to capitalize, but some good reactions from Sampi, Finno, with the HE smoke right there to give him an opening duel and nullify the op, which is a massive part of a catwalk split right here. Taking down that op first, a huge detail, and clearing out those other positions. I mean, yeah, it just maybe a little bit slow on the uptick on that site, and Sampi able to at least handle business for a round. It's just one though.
Yeah, and the problem is, even if they win the rest of the rounds in the half, spoiler, there's only 2. It's not like that's going to give us much to cheer about,
Jeez.
but maybe it gives them a fighting chance. Good work in towards mid. Despite the fact they lost the first pick, they do get 2 kills back in return. And the response is from Cypher, as it normally is to try and make a play, to take some initiative. Doesn't spot a glimpse of the Eli, but he does see him just in time there, enough to get the kill.
There's utility here already being dispensed very fast on that utility as well from Cypher. What a flash to get around that corner here. There's no utility necessary, just shots being offered up from Cypher, but still Zedko,
okay.
the one that's winning these duels around the smoke, believe it or not. Low on HP, I thought he was spotted, barreled or something. And there you go, Favin drops as well. So, I mean, again, Zedko didn't feel like he had much of a chance to actually operate, but just perfectly wielding the smoke to his advantage. And
Yeah.
big 3v3.
I mean, the first real statement round we've seen from Zedko here on the map, and it was really good timing for him to come alive as well. Massive sequence of kills coming through from him, and Favin gets finished off by Savannah. So, Sampi have doubled up their round count. Can they cap off this half with a bit of a sweetener to end it? Because, well, I mean, at the end of the day, 10-2, 9-3, not a massive difference between them. Oh, and it doesn't look like double digits. It's going to be
Voided
impossible. Yeah, exactly that. There we go. Bleed are about to get there.
Yeah, very close. And double entry can't hurt there. At least a reply onto Vladin. But again, isolation here. And there's no hesitation this time for Bleed. Out towards A. The alive. Tasked again with a pretty miserable hold. A miserable defense opportunity. And headshot lands. Nice. But he had no support close by. Those sort of positions offering up long-term resistance is key, and those one-for-one trades are going to hurt here. Slowing things down is going to buy time for rotations to arrive.
Yeah, both players from Sampi are going to try and get this done from CT. Nade deep, not going to have any impact, unfortunately.
Thought Hampus was going to turn that corner. He knows better than that, though.
Oh, and this is a tight angle being held by Draken as well, and they now know exactly where Savannah is. Favin will finish off the job, and that is an incredibly successful first half coming through from Bleed. Despite the fact they have a stand-in, you wouldn't say so, right? 10 rounds out of the 12 played on the T side, and that should be the job as good as done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that necessarily, like Draken, obviously, he connected on some shots that he needed to right there. He had a couple nice opening fights, but for the most part here, I think, you know, again, that 8-0, that 9-0 run right there from Bleed was all round by round consistency in the calling here. It was no hesitation from Hampus, identifying what the next reaction from Sampi would be and abusing that reaction perfectly. And I mean, that's just excellent half right there. And then, you know, Cypher with a lot of opening duels right there. It cannot hurt. That always is an asset. Cypher, he's got a Delta utility. He's taking the shots, though.
That's so brave. That's so brave, mate. There we go. Nade will actually dunk down, and it's going to be prompting the hit now as Sampi looks to make their way forward. It's not been at all from Favin. What? Oh, my God. How does he control that sensitivity? Either way, it's a man advantage here. Make that a 2-man advantage for Bleed as they look to finish off the job. It's only Mangus left remaining. He's cooped up in the corner, and they know exactly where he is. Oh, that's such a nice angle that Vladin takes as well.
Cheeky. Cheeky angle right there from Vladin. given the opportunity to defend on the CT side here again. He was able to take a big backseat in that last half, watching the rounds fly by in their favor. 3 deaths for him so far in that first half. So far in this game now.
That's insane.
So
3
he's
deaths.
just-
We played 13 rounds.
Very impressive stuff. Just working so much.
Just never stop firing, I guess, is the
Yeah.
plan if you're Favin. Just never
And
stop
aim for the
clicking.
body apparently as well.
Oh, that is the play with the set of Julies, that's for sure. You know what I want to say? I just want to make a point here. I really love the decision here from Sampi to go for the eco. I feel like most teams in this position would have forced up because they don't want their opponents to get to 12 map and series points. But how much of a difference is there really between 11-2 and 12-2? I think this is the correct call here. I think you go for the eco, and at that point, you're at least guaranteed 1 full buy in the half to try and make something happen. And if you're not going to win that first full gun round, you lose the map. You would have lost the map anyway if you're not winning your gun round. So just at least have 1 crack. Give yourself 1 full gun round. Because if you force up in that second round and lose it, you don't even get a gun round to try and make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, it places a lot of faith in your rifles here. And I think that is what you need to do when you have to pull off this massive a comeback. You have to trust that your rifle rounds are going to be in tip-top shape. At least enough to start you off with a little bit of speed here, a little bit of momentum to get your head back in this game. So I'm with you, right? I mean, there isn't that much of a difference other than you can afford 0 mistakes here. And up against a bonus, they are not making any. No hesitation.
Vladden, you gotta check both sides of the road before you cross the traffic, man. He's just been run over.
They're up, Cat. What? How'd they get there?
You have no idea.
I mean, understandable. That was pretty fast right there. They hit the jets. And, you know, for Bleed having, like, literally no one on B until they were up Cat, I was kind of wondering what exactly they did have in their pocket. What map control. It wasn't mid. There wasn't a whole lot towards A, but, you know.
Yeah, what were they cooking?
They got 10 rounds to figure that out, so. And an extra gun there to pick up as well. There you go, Cypher. Oh, yeah, Mangus doesn't want to test that. He's like, I'm good, I'll keep my AK, my fault. Back up. Good little retreat there, understandable. Don't want to really mess with this man. Understandable, have a nice day.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. You got me?
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
All right, just making sure. Had a little PC attack freeze there, but all's well and ends well.
Back
Thankfully,
here.
hopefully didn't miss too much. I mean, Sampi having a tough time of it in the
Jeez.
start of the round. Yeah, I can't believe Cypher's already found an opening kill.
Dang.
And with ease.
That's a pretty shot right there, man. What a
Glad I
what a
made it
little
back in time
burst
for
right
that
there.
one. Yeah.
No kidding. Don't want to miss it. Cypher holding down the line. They're ready to collapse on in here and jumps up for a quick kill there, just tucking his head so he can avoid initial contact, but when he swings, he does not miss. I believe Catwalk as well, catching them dive in through this connector smoke, but it's unrelenting aggression here. Draken gonna add his name to the feed here. There's no relief other than maybe Savannah catching some angles around this smoke.
I mean, Savannah and the E-Live, the 2 long-standing players for Sampi, trying to keep them alive here in this map alone. And, well, Savannah will at least get a kill to try and thin out the numbers that they have to deal with. The E-Live will lose his life out, and Savannah, they know exactly where he is. He is no longer going to be a part of this game, and Bleed have finished off the job. What a ridiculously good win this is coming through from them on Mirage. Despite the fact they have a stand-in, they still clean up Sampi.
Yeah, and the comfort in the calling right there, the comfort in that map entirely has to be something you'll be very happy about.